All right, what are we working on today, boys?
Piece of shit, Skidoo.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You gotta tear it all down. Got a lovely base gasket leak here.
Let me tell you guys what. That exhaust pipe kicked my ass. You can barely get an Allen wrench in there, and you can't really hand loosen those bolts. They suck.
Tear down on Robbie's 700 that I built. We got oil in the one cylinder, but we've been running it pretty rich on the oil side. I've been doing mixed gas, oil injection, plus a little bit extra. But this is one of those things where I built this motor, so I want to go back through it, check everything before we go take it for the big ride for the season. It's coming up, but we're still about a month out, so I just cleaned up the cylinder a little bit. You can see a little bit of oil residue. You can see it on that piston, but it's a brand new. We put SPI pistons in there. So I'm going to tear that guy down, and then I'll let you know more.
Well, I think we found the oil leak.
A fresh rebuild. You got to go back through it every now and then. I want to say it might have just been extra oily because like we said, I had this motor lubed up pretty good. But based on what we're seeing, get all that coolant out.
Otherwise, everything else is looking all right, nice and smooth.
Fold off all the way or no?
Well, what's getting me is the fact that it's on the outside. I don't see a spot where.
Good wear on these pistons.
Okay, I'm recording.
Okay.
And we have a gas.
We found our leak. Pretty sure it's our power valves that are leaking.
Well, what doesn't get me is it's all the way up on the head too.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
But
When you're moving, it does throw oil.
Well, what I'm thinking, it might be this power valve, because see how this one's more clean on the bottom? There might be a gasket bad inside here, but just like I said, it could be exhaust too. It could just be the amount of oil we're running through it.
Yep.
It's also a two-stroke snowmobile. It's going to be oily, but these should clean up pretty good. They've been clear coated, high temp, so it's not gonna.
The exhaust off. That gasket was definitely leaking.
Let's see the oil on that gasket
Yep.
too.
We'll put a little bit of sealant on it when we put it all back together, but you can tell which side of the motor was oily though.
Yep. That's just. I can't even.
Here,
Just
pick
thick.
that screwdriver up. Let me go. Or did you give it back to me? Probably. Yeah.
Let's
That's-
see. Just barely snug it. One ugga is, if you go two ugga you're screwed. There you go. Now we can
swap the other one in.
Oil on that ring.
You want to throw a little bit on the bottom here as well?
You want the piston higher up?
Yep, I'll get in here and do that.
The skirt is from here.
Okay, let's
What
down.
else you want? Oil on
A
the...
little bit on the cylinders. Yep, now up on the other side. There you go. Now, watch my magic again. So now, there's two ways you could be doing this. You could see there's a little notch in the piston. But what I tend to do is I take the ring and I rotate it till I know it stops, and then I do the same thing on the other. And look, you can tell it stops there. So now what you do, you squeeze it with your, if I get my right hand, if I get the right hand again. So if I squeeze it where I need to, should let me.
And then your gasket is...
There we go.
And then before get it all the way down, like that. Now I need all my bolts, which are here. Do the same thing with the impact. And then what I do before I torque it, now you gotta put your exhaust back on.
Yep.
That way your cylinders aren't rotated like this, because you can see they'll move.
Right, you
So
gotta get them
now-
lined up.
Now I would get your exhaust pipe back on, clean up your exhaust gaskets if we need to. We'll put a little bit of red RTV on there and we'll seal them up.
Oh yeah, Robbie.
And then I will go through the torque sequence after we get that on there. So you want to torque these down to 21 to 22 foot-pounds. So I start in the on the back one here, then I cross over to the front one for the quick click. Then I move over to front one. And I move over to this guy. You want to start from the inside out, that way you don't warp your gasket at all. There's that, and then get down in here, which is gonna suck, but we have to do it. There's that guy. Come back over to here. There you are. Base gasket's torqued, and then stay tuned. We'll show you what we need to do to torque the head, and I'll be right back with you. So when you're putting with the Skidoos, with these you'll have your cylinder head bolts. They're all the same, except you'll have two that are not the same length. Those two go towards the power valves on the motor, and all I do to check those is I just put them along next to the other ones to find the other short one.
GoPro decided to
Which
stop recording, so the might jump around a little bit here for just a minute. Just hang in there with us.
so far they're all the same length. I might have another one down here in the front.
You kind of dropped him.
Yeah, I knocked my tray
Oh,
over
last
down
one
to the
I
bottom.
missed.
So there is the two shorter ones. Then you throw the big ones in. With this, you got to be very careful with the gaskets here. You move them, you can pop that compression ring out. So right now, all I'm doing is I'm just putting them in for now. I didn't start threading them at all. All I'm doing is just getting them in the hole, so that way when I like to kind of start it at the edge, see if it wants to thread in, which currently it's not. You might have
There
to
we go.
rotate them a little bit and see that one pop down, that one pop down.
You can watch a couple of the other screws fall down too.
Yep. So I'm just starting these by hand for the quick second. And And all it is just making sure the threads start. Because all I'm going to do is I'm take my impact. Notice it's on the lowest setting. I'm not going to go crank them down like I'm torquing down tires. All I'm going to do, I'm going to start with my torque spec here. So with these, you want to start in a pattern. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You just kind of go crisscross with that, but you don't have to do that until you're ready to torque. I'm just snugging these down, that way it just gets these bolts down so I'm ready to torque. These are pretty much just all hand tight right now. And I'll show you, like I said before, it's that 1 through torque method. So I'm gonna go through here. I'm gonna start. It doesn't matter which one's 1, as long as you go diagonal from there. So it's 22 foot-pounds again, just like the base gasket. So now, since I started with that one, this one's gonna be 2. That one was 2, so here's my 3. There's my 4. And you want to start from the inside out, just like I did with the base gasket. So since I am now here, you can either do top or bottom. Doesn't matter, since you got that center one started. But now you do opposite. You go over to here. Same to this one. And then you go same again. Then I like to just kind of go back over them, make sure they're all at that 22. It's thrown back together, but as you've seen earlier, the pistons that were in here, I freshly rebuilt this motor. We took this apart to inspect where the oil leak was coming from, inspect our components. So I can make a video later on. I got another 700 that I'm putting a motor together on. I can go over this stuff again, but I didn't go over how to put the wrist pins or put the pistons on or set the clips or anything. This was just strictly torque specs and reassembly of this motor. Just keep in mind you want to start from the inside and out, and then keep your 1, 2, 3, 4 method. You want to count over, crisscross them. You don't want to start on the outside then go in, because then you'll have a warp of the head. But so far so good. I'll catch you guys later.
There, now you're ready to tell everybody how to do this?
Yep. So what I do first is I will get the carbs onto the reeds. I take this hose clamp loose so you can pull the whole clamp off and leave the reeds on. I'll slide them on first, and then I will slide the air box in, and I'll get the air box lined up with the carbs first, and then I'll slide them all the way onto the reeds and tighten them down. That's the best way I've found. And then you put the boost bottle in when you're all done.
go, Miguel. Bleed in the coolant system.
We good?
Yep.
Fucking bark. Loud.
That is pretty loud. What are we doing here?
So I gotta take these off and try to put them on this pipe right there because these are busted off, and this pipe on that end is not sealing.
No.
So this is what we got laying around for parts. So
Someone already repaired it once, but it wasn't working. So
Yeah.
a little cut and weld, and let's see how it goes.
alrighty, so we got this exhaust pipe all mounted up. Just shitty spray paint just to cover up the welds. We had to modify this bracket and that.
And this is a
And
different pipe
now
than we
it,
had on it.
yeah, now it all should be good. And you replaced the white pipe too, right?
Yep.
Yep. So it all should be good to go, hopefully. That a lot better, you say?
Yeah, it sounds better.
Hey, thanks for sticking around on the video. This is Rob over at Rapids Rebuilt. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey, thanks for sticking around on the video. This is Robo Rapids Rebuilt. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.